your handkerchief.
Just hours before his assassination, Charlie Kirk sharing these words to live by in his final interview.
It's good no matter what season of life that you're in. If you're going through the worst of times, this too shall pass, and things are going to get better. If you're going through the best of times, though, it's really humbling. Like, this too shall pass, and this will fade away, because this will not last forever. So I love that.
And they don't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a time-transcendent truth that applies towards all periods as an entrepreneur. It humbles you when you need it, and builds you up when you need it, gives you hope when you need it, and also gives you a little bit of a dose of a gut check.
Wow. Pretty shocking, right? You can stream Charlie Kirk, the last interview, now on Fox Nation, or when it airs tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Andrew K. Smith, who was the last person to interview Charlie Kirk, joins us now with more about that day. Andrew, thanks so much for joining us this morning. When did you tape that interview? How long before Charlie's death? And what was your reaction when you heard of his assassination?
Yeah, we had him show up to the venue that we had in Salt Lake City
I know, right? That's a good point. It's kind of crazy that you can just be sitting there talking to somebody one day and then they're just gone the next. It is kind of eye-opening if you think about it. It kind of puts some humanity back in you.
Before we talked. So we talked for about 40 minutes prior to him going out on stage. And then he was on stage with me for about 35 minutes. Talked for a few minutes, and then we took a picture, and then he darted out the back door to go get in the Suburban with a security detail. And 40-minute drive down to UVU, and then he was out in the auditorium. So it was very close, and I had no idea what we were sitting.
What was about to transpire?
Yeah, no, there's
Andrew,
no way to even imagine that.
Well, you hosted this event. It's called Restaurantology 2025. You own 500 restaurants. You're part of, you are co-founder and managing director of Savory Fund. So you know a lot about this business. You wanted him to come on to talk about, he's an entrepreneur as well. He started Turning Point USA, and you said it was lighthearted and it was fun. He gave some scriptures, and some people were hesitant, but then they ended up being inspired by his message. When you found out he was shot, you had to go out and do what?
We had to tell him that, the audience didn't know. We had just said goodbye to him. We were backstage. We were running the event, myself and my team. And as soon as it happened, we were told there were some people that were actually at the event, some friends of ours that were at the event. And they just said, I think you just had Charlie on stage. He was just shot. And it was hard to even imagine
I saw his shorts every now and then. I didn't know how big of a figure he was, honestly. And then I saw that it had said that he had been shot, and I was like, what? I thought about it, and I was like, there's no way. No way. And then I kind of had this realization that a lot of stuff is about to change. Because these people, they keep getting killed, these rich people keep getting killed, and the only threat that we have to our freedom of speech right now are American people that are advocating for death and violence. Because what do you think is going to happen if you keep advocating for death and violence and people keep getting killed that are rich? They're going to take the First Amendment away. And you don't think they will? They will. It's just a piece of paper. They will snatch that hoe up faster than you can bat an eye at it. They will take the Second Amendment away too. You don't think they will? They will. If powerful enough people that are rich enough want that shit to be snatched up, it's going to get snatched up. Got to stop doing this. Got to.
Process that was surreal.
What was the reaction
shocking.
of the crowd?
And I'm not saying this to be like, that's how I feel. Logically speaking, if you keep having problems with somebody and you're in a place of power to remove it, what the heck do you think is going to happen? They're going to start cracking down on American rights because you want to act like a buffoon. Stop doing it.
We went out and told him there was gas in the audience. It was you could hear a pin drop. I mean, it was very, very quiet. But it was sobering, too, because you're like, he was just here. And as you saw in the clip right here, he was so...
I know a lot of people were like, no, I'd stand up for my rights. No, you wouldn't. It'd be just like what happened with what happens with leaders whenever they're like, I'm going to die for my country. And then he dies. And then another leader steps up and is like, I'm going to die for my country. How many of those how many people with that mindset do you have to kill before the next person in line's like, so let's come to the table and talk about a peace treaty because I'm not willing to die. Not very many. You'd be surprised.
Hearted and fun, unifying. it just felt so good.
It sucks, and it's not an advocacy for violence. It's the truth. That's just how it is. Like, you can sit there and say that you're willing to die for a cause all you want until people start dying, and then you realize, oh,
The energy was great, and when he left, man, he was on top of life.
And he had a great entrepreneur story to tell too. I want you to be everyone out to hear a little bit more of your interview. Watch.
An entrepreneur at its core is a problem solver against the tide. Entrepreneurs are people that, quit companies while they might be ascending, or they're putting on a second mortgage on their home, or they're diving into savings or liquidating their 401k. And I think there's really something admirable about that kind of ambition. It makes the world a better place. I would say that the more that we can cheerlead the economy, the better. And the more that we can say that it's good, the more that it will be good. I
don't think that's how it works, man.
Continental Europe right now. I would much rather be the United States than a lot of these other countries.
Oh, welcome back, Chase.
Global. So, and it went for 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, for about 35 minutes we talked, and that was his feeling the whole time too. It was very positive, and he was so optimistic about America, about being an entrepreneur, about building businesses. It was inspiring. I think that everybody that was maybe a little bit on edge with him being there because of their position.
Because of political?
Yeah, because we talked earlier too, and we just said, we're going to take all politics off the table. And in fact, before we went out, I said, Charlie, okay, when we go out there, he's like, what can I do to help? And when he said that, I'm like, he's here to help. I was so impressed with him saying, I just want to be here to help. And I said, let's go out there and inspire these entrepreneurs with your journey and the things that you're doing to build your...
I agree. I do honestly think Charlie Kirk, if he wanted to, could have been president. And it's because of how many young people he managed to get to come to the stage and talk and understand the ideals of what originally made America, America. I do.
For businesses too, and that's exactly.
And
what
he didn't have to do the interview.
No.
Yeah.
His cousin is actually related to one of our brands, Houston Hot Chicken, and he is his cousin. And so he said, I think you should talk to my cousin. And I'm like, well, who's your cousin? He said, well, Charlie Kirk. I'm like, I know him. I don't know all about him. I don't follow him like everybody else does. But when I got to know him, man, his mind and his entrepreneurial edge was just amazing. I'm like, you're an entrepreneur? And he goes, well, yeah, I think I am. I'm like, no, you are. So you should come and talk to these other entrepreneurs and inspire them.
Do you think he's one of those individuals, and the president often gets this criticism? You see the headlines, you see the videos, and you don't really know the person. But when you meet them, your mind is changed.
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, you'd be surprised with how many of these online content creators, you see them all the time, you show up all the time, but then whenever you go up to them in person, they're a dick. It's so disheartening, dude. I've seen it happen quite a bit. It sucks.
My mind was completely rocked with just getting ready for this months before. He was gritty. I mean, he had some developments he was doing. He's like, Andrew, you should put some of your restaurants on my land. And I'm like, okay, well, we should talk about that. In the middle of everything he's doing, and he's
always
saying,
trying to add more.
What did you think about that piece of land? I mean, he was an entrepreneur. He was pushing his other initiatives that he wanted because he was excited about it. And then meeting him too, yeah, you realize that man, he was a good man. He was a man of faith, and he wore it on his sleeve, like he said right on our conference. But you could feel that spirit of him.
Didn't he say, Andrew, I'll call you later?
He says, I'll call you after the event. I want to do more like this with you. So let's do it again.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Andrew K. Smith, thanks so much. And that's, by the way.
Yep, he was a go-getter, that one. Very unfortunate. I feel like he could have gone so far. He really could have. He could have gone so far. That's just over now, man. That's really sad. That's really sad.